Hey guys, I'm Matt O'Leary back with another video, and today's going to be a little bit different than usual. No, you're not going to see my face. No, it's not so much with just takes. I'm going to show you some film, and you decide for yourself what you think about it. Now, I'm showing you some Sam Darnold from this year, and I'm going to say this. I am not someone who is a film buff. If you are looking for that, Jets X Factor, wow, I can't even speak. Jets X Factor does a phenomenal job at breaking down film. I'm not saying that I'm in the same category as them, but what I did want to do is just show you some examples for why I'm concerned about Sam Darnold going into his fourth year next year. I understand some of you who want to run it back with Sam Darnold for year 4. Maybe he figures it out with a new coaching staff and a better team around him. I would not say that that's a guarantee. I would say that it's risky to bet on that versus what we've seen this year. But I just wanted to show you, if that's your take on it, that's fine. And if Sam Darnold is the quarterback next year, I will be rooting for him, and I hope he proves me wrong. I am just saying that I am nervous because some things that I've seen from him this year, and no, it doesn't have to do with the bad offensive line. And no, it doesn't have to do with the coaching staff or the players around him. It's things that I see from Sam Darnold that actually kind of scare me a little bit. So I'm going to show you some plays. We'll talk about them. We'll go through. And you guys let me know what you think of them. So let's start from the beginning. The first game of the year, and not a great one for Sam Darnold. And this was a missed throw where he could have hit Perryman. And this is a throw that you have to make in year 3 in the NFL. A little down and come back. We'll watch it from the other angle, and then I will talk about it a little bit. Pocket's good enough. That's open. I don't know what else I could possibly say about this. So let's back it up a little bit more. Okay, when he's throwing the ball, we have good space and good separation right there. That has to be a completion for a first down. On third down especially, has to. And then if we skip, it was Crowder, excuse me, it wasn't Perryman. But if you look from here, give it a second, I'll pause it. Okay, when he's going to make that throw, feet it pointed in the right direction, which isn't always the case, but that's a good enough pocket in the NFL in 2020 for you to be able to complete that throw. And that's open. That has to be hit. Has to. And that was not his only mistake from that game. We have another example for you right here from this same game. Okay, that incompletion. Maybe that's a ball that could have been caught, but this is what I want to talk about and show you, the footwork on this play. Now, again, I'm not some sort of quarterback expert or whisperer by any stretch of the imagination, but I can tell you that this doesn't look right. When Sam is throwing to his right, look at where his feet are pointing. They're pointing to the left, and now he has to throw across his body, which is why he wasn't able to get a good throw to Crowder there. And if he just did a quick rotation of the hips and get his feet pointed in the right direction, the likelihood of that throw being on target is significantly higher. This is the interception against the Bills, which was just, I don't know how you could make this throw in your third year or why he thought this was a good idea. And unfortunately, at times, there are way too many decisions like this from Sam Darnold. And it's a little scary. And you see it from this angle. Again, he's going to throw across his body. He's trying to do too much. Okay, pocket breaks down. Good, get out of there. He rolls to his left. And he thinks that he sees a receiver open. He's not. Just get rid of it. Give up on the play. Throw it away. Instead, he tries to throw across his body. Does not see the linebacker right there. And that is about as covered as you possibly be. That's not good. That Cannot happen. And that unfortunately happens a little bit too regularly for my liking at this point in his career. Is that fixable? Again, maybe under a new coaching staff, they could work that stuff out of him. But it's, again, I'll say it one more time. It's risky to bet on him figuring it out in year 4. Next up, okay, this is against the San Francisco 49ers, one of Darnold's quote-unquote better games of the year. This is a check down play where the mechanics and the footwork is just, oh no, excuse me, that is not that check down play. That is just a miss. Let's back it up to where we are. This has to be hit. I don't know another way to say it. That has to be a completion. He's very open. Clean pocket. That's very open. I don't know how you don't complete that. Okay. Here's another one for you. This is the pick 6 against the Colts. When Sam goes to throw this ball, I'm not exactly sure what he sees where he thinks that it's okay to put this ball in this spot. All right, so snaps off. It's going to be a comeback, but that's just good coverage. He's blanket. He throws the pick. The route gets jumped. When you go back to where he was when he was making that throw, that he is very much covered in that spot. There's no other way around it. And then if you want to go here, okay, we have the red zone interception. Now, it looks like his receiver is going to be open, but you're just completely missing a Colts defender in this spot. So Sam drops. Pressure's coming. Okay, it looks like my receiver's about to be open, but hold on. Where I'm throwing this ball, it gives the defensive back a good position to get back in and make a play here. You can't. Red zone interceptions can't happen, and that would have gotten the Jets right back in the game if they score and put up 7 there. It was a panic decision. The pressure started to come, and he says, oh my God, I got to get rid of this. But his receiver's not open. There's a defensive back who get right back into coverage and pick that off, which is exactly what happens. Okay, here's one against the Bills. So a little bit later in the season, Sam Darnold makes his return from injury, and he just doesn't want to throw this ball for some reason. Don't know why. Mims gets open, doesn't want to throw it. He's shell-shocked. Okay. He's open there. That's a touchdown. You throw that ball, that's probably a touchdown. If anything, he's getting inside the 5 because he's going to catch that probably around where the 10 is, maybe a little bit beyond where the 10 is, and turn upfield. And with his speed, he's getting inside the 5 and maybe into the end zone. We'll keep it going. Okay, how about now? Can you be any more wide open than that? Doesn't see him. Still won't throw it. Okay, now he's running in that direction, staring right at Mims. Won't throw it. Mims isn't necessarily looking. Okay, now he turns back around. Can you throw it there? Sure, absolutely you can throw that ball. Waits, throws. It's too late at that point. We'll play it in real speed. Look how long he waits to throw this ball. He's playing scared. It's way too long. Way too long. Okay, this is a game against Miami. Jets lost this one 24-3. I understand wanting to take a deep shot to Perryman in this place. Sure. Okay, I'm about it. But if you hold on a second, you got to throw this ball further away. This is an underthrown ball that nearly gets picked off. And the mechanics are not good. Look where his feet are pointing when he makes that throw. That, again, not good footwork. And this is why the ball's short. Nearly an interception. That ball has to be over the shoulder and further towards the sideline. Instead, it's not, because if you go back and freeze it from where he's throwing that ball, that's the direction that his feet's pointing. Is that where he's throwing? No. And then the last one for you to see this, Jamal Adams dropped interception. You have 3 wide receivers to the right side. He's going to try to hit Berrios over the middle. Okay, he makes his cut. Sam's like, ooh, okay, let's throw this ball. Hang on, back up a second. Jamal Adams is reading his eyes the entire time. Watch Jamal. He's going to jump that route. That does not get intercepted. That play should have been an easy pick 6. Darnold should have had 3 interceptions in this game. He had 3 dropped picks. And this is just a bad read. Again, this isn't coaching. This isn't the players around him. This isn't the offensive line. Pocket's good. He's got time. He's just not reading Jamal Adams over the middle of the field. When he's throwing that ball, sure, if you remove Jamal Adams from the field, okay, Braxton Berrios is open, but if looking right at the Seahawks logo, there's Jamal Adams, jumps the route. Should have been an easy pick 6. All right, let's switch and start looking at some statistics. So how has Sam Darnold done this year in the 10 games that he's played versus some other Jets quarterbacks? And when you make the comparison, it's unfortunately a little scary. So here's Sam Darnold with Bryce Petty and Brooks Bollinger. So in 10 games this year, Sam Darnold has 6 passing touchdowns, 9 interceptions. His yards per attempt is under 6. 176.7 yards per game, 70.7 rating, and a completion percentage under 60%. When you look at what Bryce Petty and Brooks Bollinger did in 2016 and 2005, no one would say that they had a great season for any stretch of the imagination. They were not having a good year. And you look at the numbers, there's more for Petty, there's more picks than touchdown passes, only 3 touchdown passes on the season. His yards per attempt was actually better than Darnold's. Yards per game was way down, and his rating was way down. And completion percentage was down, but, is Sam Darnold's numbers vastly better than Bryce Petty's in 2016? No. And do I think that Sam Darnold has more talent than Bryce Petty? Of course. But I'm going to go back to the risk factor in year 4 of him trying to figure it out. And Brooks Bollinger, this one's scarier because these numbers are a lot closer. 11 games, 7 passing touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Yards per attempt the same. Yards per game was 141. Rating was better for Bollinger, and completion percentage was worse. But this is the NFL 15 years ago. This isn't era-adjusted numbers where guys are getting the ball down the field more. And there's more chances to get the ball down the field. So that's a little bit scary, but then, okay, maybe you don't want to look at 2005 stats. How about Sam Darnold in his first 3 years versus some other quarterbacks who were taken high in their first 3 years? So let's look at Darnold, Trubisky, and Bortles. Games, Darnold 36, 42 touchdowns, 37 interceptions, 6.6 yards per attempt, 212.7 yards per game, a 78.4 rating, completion percentage at 59.8. Looking at Trubisky and Bortles, they're not too far off. Yards per attempt, right around the same. Darnold's yards per game, right in the middle between those two. Darnold's rating, not as good as Trubisky's, not as good as Bortles. Completion percentage in between the two. But I don't think anyone would say that Trubisky or Bortles are good quarterbacks, and that this is what the numbers that they put up in their first 3 years in the league. Again, yes, there is a chance that Sam Darnold can get on track in year 4. I'm not saying it's impossible, but to bet on it is super risky, and I think a portion of the fan base is just going in with blind faith that you're ignoring whatever you've seen this year because the numbers aren't great, at all. It's just you're basing this on feelings from your first 2 years on him, which I understand. And I'll say it one more time, maybe with a better roster and maybe with better coaching, he figures it out. But we're still waiting for a 250-yard passing performance from him. Still waiting for it. His yards per attempt was 6.6 or 6.7 if you round up last week. 207 yards, a 70 completion percentage. It's game manager stuff. Like, that's what you want to go into with year 4 when you have a top 2 pick in the NFL draft. He's had a rating over 90 3 times this year. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games without a passing touchdown. You have 1 game this year with multiple passing touchdowns. It's sketchy. It's not as black and white as, okay, you're not going to get Trevor Lawrence, then okay, Sam's the guy. It's not that simple. It really isn't that simple. And the sooner we realize this and the sooner we separate our hopes and our feelings when this kid was drafted and what we thought in his rookie year and second year, the better I feel like we will be as a fan base. Because, again, right now it's all based on feeling and emotion more so than what we've actually seen from him on the field. Because this year, what we've seen on the field from him is as bad as it gets. I hope he figures it out. I'm rooting for him too. But to expect it to happen seems a little naive. Subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I'm Matt O'Leary, and I'll talk to you next time.